useless organism with your hosts, Tristan and Tommy.
Welcome to Two Useless Organisms, a silly topical show where two useless organisms discuss today's hot topics and drink each other's philosophy juice, read the internet's most unbelievable Yelp reviews, etc., etc. On today's show, we'll discuss poetry and why.
What's it say, Tommy?
It says It definitely says the second topic, which is if we were wrestlers or MMA fighters or boxers, what would our entrance music be? That's what it says.
No, it does not.
That's not why I paused abruptly or anything.
That is what our topics are going to
be. Keep in mind that two useless organisms is not safe for work.
Every time I send Tommy the disclaimer to read, I put something in that I hope he reads. And I don't know if you've ever actually fallen for it, but
No.
This one was funny. I was hoping you'd do it. I tried to put it in at a different place than usual.
You did. Yeah. Well, I think you only done that one other time, and that was you wanted me to tell everyone that
your cooking sucks.
Yeah, that you wanted me to say that about myself and my cooking, but I never would. I'll never.
Well, I guess the internet will just have to not know what today's was going to be, but
no, I'll tell them. Tristan wanted me to say that we'll discuss why white people are great, which I guess isn't the worst thing. We're saying why some people are great, but there could be a certain implication there, even though it's not direct there. But that's
overall, it's a positive statement, but
it comes with a certain what do you call it, Ron DeSantis or something? I don't know.
It comes with a certain Ron DeSantis. I wish Ron DeSantis could just be the word for anything that's like racially problematic or just ethically problematic.
Disney is a joke, and we're gonna make sure that this state is where woke goes to die. Whatever the hell that means.
DeSantis 2024.
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Child labor laws. Let's get rid of them. I don't know. He never said anything.
I mean, there are states literally cutting back on those. So,
what do you know? Hey, my first ever job. The owner of the business employed his 14-year-old grandson to work there and just paid him under the table in cash.
Gotta love it.
But I also put the word work in parentheses because work also basically meant getting high on the job, drinking on the job, and urinating in other employees' cleaning supplies.
Sometimes you got to take a pee in the cleans. I mean, if you pee in cleaning supplies, will the cleaning supplies just clean the pee?
I spent a little bit of time working with pools, and I'll tell you a little about how cleaning supplies work, especially ones that disinfect urine. Chlorine, for example, it fails to be chlorine once it comes into contact with something dirty. Basically, all the chemicals inside chlorine that eliminate the dirty thing, whatever it may be, fail to become that chemical anymore. So you'd have to have enough chemical to completely disinfect all the pee to still have some chemical left. But here, let's bring this into theme park land, okay? A little bit of shameless advertising for our theme park podcast. Most water rides in theme parks use a chemical called bromine to clean their water for the water ride. That is because bromine can be reused. Once bromine disinfects something or kills some sort of an algae or anything like that, the chemical that makes it bromine remains. Whereas chlorine, it gets eaten up and it's no longer chlorine. So bromine is typically more expensive than chlorine, but it can be reused over and over again.
So you're constantly swimming in PP bromine at water parks?
No, just for water rides. Like I'm talking about like rides where you might get a little bit wet, but
like
hopefully
Pirates
there's
of the
no
Caribbean.
urine. There should not be urine in any of that water.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean, because I like the bromine smell on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Exactly.
I just wrote it last night, and that was a good time.
Oh, congratulations. No one asked. This is Two Useless Organisms, but if you want to listen to us talk about theme parks, please remain seated as our theme park podcast. Now, we were hopping off the topic about why white people are great, and
no, we weren't.
Hop into to our first topic, which is Tommy. It's your topic, and
Oh,
tell us
yeah.
your topic.
So my topic is if we were professional wrestlers, boxers, or MMA fighters, what would be our entrance music?
So do you want me to tell you mine?
Yes.
Years ago, when we had a program called Three Guys Without the Wise, we used to have a segment called "What the Hell Am I Listening to?" And that was Eric's segment. Eric, our former co-host. Shout out to Eric. He brought one to the table. I want to say he suggested this specific piece of content. Maybe you did, Tommy, but it was that Russian song where the guy goes, ha, 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 ha,
Oh, that one.
You remember that?
I remember which one you're talking about.
It would be that song. Runner-up answer would be Mark Rabile's I'm a Flamingo, which was part of the same type of segment we did.
See, yeah, when you said, what the hell am I listening to? I thought that's the one you're going to go for. Mainly because I have listened to that song a lot since then. Like, it low-key might be on one of my top most listened to Spotify songs of all time.
It's on Spotify?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Yo,
that.
I'm hopping all around.
No,
I'm a
no.
pink
You did this
bird.
last time.
I'm
You
walking
literally
all
sang this
around,
song
better
last
take some
episode.
wah-wah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just flamingo. I'm coming on your shoreline. Here I go. I'm gonna peacefully drink. Yo, I'm slowly creeping up to your front yard. Nothing threatening here. I'm just a flamingo. I'm a flamingo and I'm coming up to you. Oh, is that your child? I'ma rip out his motherfucking eyeball. I'ma rip out your goddamn eyeball. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know way more words to that song than I really should. There's another part of the song where he talks about eating your grandma's vagina.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Pleasant.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that Russian
That would be kind of
it'd be
fire
so
though.
obscure. Like it'd just be so because most of those walk-on songs are like super epic, energetic, like rock or metal or maybe something else. But I feel like most of them are some sort of rock, and
Yeah.
it's to get people pumped up. I would be
Yeah.
in the other ballpark.
I do remember a long time ago I watched a UFC fight, and there was a UFC fighter. I forget what his full name was, but I know his first name was Mickey. And he came out to that song. It's like, oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey Mickey. That's like kind of like a girly pop type of song. But when he was coming out to that, I'm like, oh, he's about to kick this fucker's ass, and he did. He won within 30 seconds. I'm pretty sure.
Wow,
Like only someone that's gonna kill you is gonna come out to a song like that.
that's
Which is
true.
why one of the songs I've considered is Material Girl.
Oh wow.
Like imagine like coming out to that. We are living in a material girl, and wait. We're living in a material world, and I'm a
Yeah.
material girl. I switched world and girl. Because I watch wrestling, I think about my entrance music a lot. Tristan, you're holding your hand. Were you wanting to say something?
I'm trying to imagine this.
Okay.
I'm trying to imagine you coming out, and you're not the tallest fella in the world. You're not
Nope.
short.
Yeah, no.
But I'm imagining you with
In the world
your
of professional
stature.
wrestling, I would be very short though.
Okay, so then I'm imagining you coming out in a unitard, some sort of spandex leotard unit. I don't know what it's called. With all your body hair, which I know you have lots of.
Yes.
Sticking out, just dead faced with Material Girl playing, and then you hop in the ring and just immediately rip someone's teeth out.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would most likely be a jobber and lose all the time. But like because at my height in the real world, it's a pretty decent height. Like, definitely not tall, but I'm not like short. But in professional wrestling, I am fucking short. But me thinking I'm a badass. Another song I've considered is "Sabotage" by the Beastie Boys. I think that'd be a very badass song to walk out to.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of different songs, so I feel like there's songs that like I would want to mention, but like I don't think as many people would recognize. Like the "Beds Are Burning" cover by AWOL Nation would be kind of fire. And I think "Sabotage" was brought up in my head recently because of Guardians 3 having "No Sleep Till Brooklyn" in the movie. Like that would be a cool song.
My friend just said to me today, how odd is it that two Chris Pratt movies that came out this year involve them saving the universe and No Sleep Till Brooklyn plays, which would of course be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Yeah, I've been hearing that, and I haven't seen Mario Bros. Movie yet, and I really want to. Um, but that's kind of fire though.
Yeah.
You know, Chris Pratt having two movies coming out in the same year with that song, and then he also has two roller coasters here in Orlando, you know. He does cool things twice. What can we say about him?
It might be 3 times if there's any sort of current Super Mario Bros. Present in Epic Universe.
I mean, I that is true. Because I mean, I know the rides that they're putting in there were already made in other parks before the movie.
Mm.
Like they're supposed to have that Mario Kart racing ride, which probably has nothing to do with the movie. So I guess
Yeah.
you could say spiritually he has 3 rides, but we'll still stick with 2 roller coasters. The
He's
roller coaster,
attached to all of those franchises.
yeah,
Doesn't he also do a voice in the Lego movie?
he does, yeah.
So
So he
like
could
in
be at Legoland,
yeah, this guy's just gonna take over theme parks.
you know? If anyone's gonna take over a theme park, I wouldn't be super mad about Chris Pratt doing
No,
it.
he's already in California Adventure.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Oh, oh shit, what's he doing in California? Oh, right.
Yeah, Mission Breakout.
For some reason, when you said California Adventure, I was thinking Universal Hollywood.
Well, you're stupid.
Yeah, I am.
We say potato.
Well, I mean, Super Nintendo World did open there already, so
Yeah, this is two useless organisms.
yeah. 2UO. What I
2-0.
really like about this show is that we will have a topic and then go completely off topic. You know, this topic was what would our entrance music be
Mhm.
to us talking about Chris Pratt and his involvement in theme parks.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
There's a phrase for that. It's something like I wear many testicles or something like
Yeah,
that.
something about having an actual conversation. I also fuck with The Weekend, so I think Blinding Lights would be good. And then also Lady Gaga has some bangers, like Bad Romance would be pretty dope to come out to, I think.
Mm.
Like imagine coming out to that. What do you think about that? Cristiano Ronaldo.
Or coming out by whoever that's by. I'm coming out. I want the world to know I ain't no snow globe. I'm coming out. You know that
Or
song?
oh yeah.
Or Stepping Out by Joe something. Stepping Out. I don't remember how that song goes. You said coming
Oh,
out. I thought about coming out. I thought about stepping out.
oh. Speaking of stepping out,
Yeah.
imagine stepping out to Killing in the Name by Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, that's a slammer.
Killing in the name of because you know I think something that makes a good entrance music is like the beginning of the song,
Mhm.
like because like as soon as like the beginning hits, like something iconic like Stone Cold's glass shattering, when you hear the glass shatter you just immediately know you're in for a good time. So like something with like a very punchy like beat at the beginning, that's what's gonna do it. Like, you know, that's one of the reasons I said Sabotage
Mm.
before.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking like maybe walking out to like the sound of like war in the Middle East, like talking about some sort of ISIS chant, like Allahu Akbar,
You know, if that's
death
your
to
thing.
America.
Or now I'm just scrolling through my Spotify right now trying to find something funny. You know,
Well, while
I,
you're doing that, can I talk about ISIS for a minute?
yeah, why not?
um, I once, and forgive me if I've already said this on the show, but I was once trying to find funny ambiance videos on YouTube because you know how there's like rain or gentle thunderstorm. I found one that was Middle Eastern war ambiance, and it's literally screaming and gunfire like in the distance and bombs exploding.
Which, speaking of screaming and gunfire, I think a Copperhead Road by Steve Earle would be a good, nice banger to walk out to.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Shipping Up to Boston by Dropkick Murphys.
Mm.
That would be a fun one to come out to. If your name's Johnny, I hardly knew you by the Dropkick Murphys as well.
You got
Maybe,
drop kicks on your playlist there?
yeah, maybe 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton.
9 to 5 by Dolly Parton.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a live. Oh, Back Foot by Dinosaur Pileup. See, my issue with this topic is that I have a lot of songs that not everyone's gonna know right away when I say them.
Yeah.
But they would be Coolio songs, dog. Oh, the Steve Aoki remix of Welcome to the Black Parade would be pretty fire. Na 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 by My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, I used to be in a band back in the day, and that was our ender song, our what's that, encore, if you will.
Na 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 na.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
a
fun
cute.
song.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Well,
Got
heck.
any other music you want to walk out to, Tristiano?
No, I think I'll save ISIS as my last answer.
You want ISIS to be your last answer?
ISIS
All right.
is actually a metal band, named after the Egyptian god Isis, which I believe I might have actually talked about on the show, not the the trouble people over there, but anyway, ISIS. So do we have money? Is there money?
Is there money? Um, oh right. Um, today's show is sponsored by water. If you are dehydrated or need to go for a swim or take a shower, water.
Allahu
Thank,
Akbar.
thank you, water, for sponsoring the show.
Oh, look at it. Tommy has the product right there.
Yeah,
They must have
they're
shipped that. Did they ship that to you for free? The
Oh
people
yeah,
over at
man.
Water?
Yeah, they're honestly one of our best sponsors since Spoons, I think. Like they're really good to us.
I just
All
want it to
right.
be known that I've been hanging out with my dog all day long.
Okay.
And it isn't until I went to record both of our podcasts today that he starts whining annoyingly. Now, does he have to wait until I'm doing something that requires silence in the room to start whining?
You know, it's almost like our cats that we have here, they always use the litter box either when we're eating or right after we clean their litter box.
Well, cats are a different thing. Okay, I don't feel like dogs live to piss you off, but I'm pretty sure cats have a very sophisticated brain that is computing when they can do something as evil as possible at as much of an inconvenient time as possible.
I mean, we did see that with Stink on the last episode or two when she was being fucking. Lou is a pretty sweet baby,
Yeah.
but Sabrina, she's annoying.
Stink. Well,
Stink.
thank you, Water. Perhaps
And
Stink can,
thank you, Rum.
and thank you.
Probably has water in it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So my topic here is a little more deep, a little more meaningful,
Yeah.
a little more reflective, and it is to recite your favorite poem.
Yeah, which we don't ever get to get too deep on this show too often, so I'm pretty excited that you decided to go this route.
Yeah, I am too. Do you have a poem, Tommy, like
Yes.
that's one of your go-tos?
Yes, this is a poem that I really enjoy, that I really think about very frequently. It goes, "Boss makes a dollar, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time."
I think they call that a soliloquy.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
why I always encourage my subordinates to poop on company time.
A female version of that is a soliloquy.
Shit, I never realized that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, dollar dimes. Yeah, that's for sure. That's a good one. I know there's an app out there where you can log
Oh yeah, how much you poop at work so you can figure out how much you're getting paid to
exactly.
poop
So
per
like
year.
at the end of the year you plug it in and you look like, dang, I made like $250 on
Damn,
the can this year, you know?
I really want to do that. That'd be kind of fire.
It's there's nothing better than those unauthorized poop breaks.
Oh my God, they're the best.
I used to
Like,
have mine when I worked back at a large grocery store chain. I would have the time that I would go and do it. And after a few months of conditioning my body, I would actually have to shit at that time,
Mhm.
so I wasn't really
Yeah,
faking it.
that's happened to me before.
But man, that's joyous.
Yeah.
Basically what it was I would unload the truck that had all the merchandise on it. Um, and then we'd bring the pallets and the flatbreads of all the merchandise out to the store, and then I'd go poop while everyone else starts actually doing work and putting the stuff on the shelf.
Yeah.
Joyous time.
Cowards.
Joyous time.
I remember specifically a day where, the operation that I coordinated, I had to drop someone from an assignment and then they had to go clock for their break. And they were about to clock in for their break before going to the bathroom. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, so I'm probably gonna take a while in the bathroom. And I'm like, no, you shit on company time and then clock for your break.
Mm-hmm.
And, they appreciated that.
Exactly.
Always let your homies poop on the clock.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what's your favorite poem?
I've got one here from an independent poet that I found a few years ago. Um, and he's got lots of poems on Twitter mainly. I don't think he ever really broke through into the mainstream at all, and it seems like he's not very active anymore. But his name's Terry Alderman. Um, don't really know what he's doing anymore. He does have a Twitter, which is where I got these from. But so I'll read this one that I found here. I believe it's his newest one, several years old. He hasn't done anything in a while, so I'll read it here. Romance once known, the feelings of lust and ecstasy gone from my body, my soul. The urge for pleasure scarce. All that is left are fantasies of desert plants, the erect cacti. Standing lonely on the desert plain, it will find its counterpart in me, as I will find myself residing in its dry flesh. Its thorns bother me not. From lack of water, a mirage will manifest, an audience to observe the symbiosis between boy and succulent. They know not of our unique bond. In bewilderment, they will see through my eyes, my soul ignite, when I make my love deposit in the mighty cactus.
That was beautiful.
I agree. I'm usually not so, I don't know. I don't know what the word is. Arrogant to put pictures of fine art and poetry up on my walls, but I do have this poem framed um right up on my wall because I reflect on that poem a lot.
Wow. Thank you for that, Tristan.
You're welcome. Terry Alderman on Twitter if you want to hear more of his work. It's very deep Um like this poem about loving a cactus.
Another poem that I really like. It was actually featured in a movie I really like called 22 Jump Street. There was a scene where Jonah Hill's character had to do some slam poetry, and he went slam poetry, yelling, angry, waving my hands a lot, specific point of view on things, Cynthia, Cynthia, Jesus died for our Cynthias, Jesus cried, runaway bride, Julia Roberts, Julia Rob, Hertz, Cynthia, Cynthia, you're dead, you are dead, beep boop beep, you're dead.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There's like so many things it could mean, there's so many ways you could look at that.
Yeah, I believe Cynthia was a character that died from some sort of drug overdose.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, because it immediately reminded me of the Great Depression. So it's funny how we can all draw different conclusions from things like that.
Yeah. It's the beauty of poetry.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everyone needs to get into more poetry.
Yeah.
It
Miss
can
poetry.
it can teach you so much. It can change your mind about so many things. It often clarifies your mind. So like with these two things, I feel like Zen right now. I feel like I didn't do a bunch of cocaine about 45 minutes ago. I feel very calm. And
That's good.
because now I have reflected upon the Great Depression and cacti.
Me too.
And I didn't know I was going to do either of those today. So, well,
Me
folks,
neither.
send in your poetry because, man, we can't get enough of that over here. We love the poetry. So send us your poetry if you have your favorites, or write your own.
Whatever happened to poetry?
You learn about it in like elementary school, and then you never touch it again because it's for pussies.
Yeah. Because I remember in my creative writing class in high school, we had a big poetry unit and project, but yeah.
Yeah, I had to write a poem once in, I want to say 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. And I just took the lyrics of Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz and I didn't even change them. I literally just wrote them out and I got an A. So,
I think the next time I'm in North Carolina, I think I have my high school poetry book from that class somewhere.
yeah.
And I remember I named it Mankind's Eulogy because, that was really deep.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's got to be a segment reading my cringy high school poetry.
That sounds awesome, actually.
Right?
I'm so intrigued.
If I can find any of that shit, I will happily read that on here.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. All right. Well, that was deep. Very good. We'll hop on into our last little charade here of our show, and that is the Yelp review.
Yelp review. Yelp review. Yeah.
So nice, dude. This one here is for Harvey Hitler's Bookstore, Conway, Arkansas, which is a familiar location for any of the diehard fans of our show. You'll have to go back and find where that. You got your flashlight. What are you doing with your flashlight on?
That's a great question. See, I was just gonna say, while we're reading about Hitler, I'm gonna play on my phone to pretend that we're not talking about Hitler.
Oh,
then
yeah.
The flashlight was on my phone. So
Tommy is half whatever you want to say, Jewish African, but
oh shit, right. I am so I took a DNA test a couple years ago at least, and like how sometimes you take a DNA test and you find out something a little surprising.
Yeah, like that you're half Kool-Aid.
Yeah, correct.
I'm so worried about that.
I always knew that my dad was straight off the boat Italian and my mom was Jewish.
Yeah.
And literally my results were just half European Jewish and then mostly Southern Italian on the other half. And then it's like literally 50% European Jewish. Like my mom's DNA test literally says 100% European Jewish.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so not even anything funny. My dad, it's like on the other half, it's like 40-something% Southern Italy, a small percentage of Northern Italy, and then the extra 1 or 2% always changes because they'll always update the results. One time it was Spain. I think currently it has England and shit. At one point it had North African, Morocco. But I'm basically nothing is different. But anyways, read about Hitler.
Well, I have a question. If your dad was straight off the boat, what vehicle was your mom straight off of?
That's a beautiful question.
As long as it wasn't the one-way train, I think she'll be all right.
I mean, if it was the one-way train, I probably would not be here right now doing this podcast.
That's true. I don't think your mom would have been around at that time.
I do believe my mom's ancestors left Poland in 1935.
Oh.
So they just dodged the bullet by a few years.
Oh, they dodged worse than bullets, my friend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they really dodged the concentration camp right there, baby.
All right.
Auschwitz, more like adios. I should not have said that.
Holocaust, more like Holocaust. All right, so we'll get into this thing here. This is Harvey Hitler's Bookstore in Conway, Arkansas. It's statistically unlikely that many people will see this review for an independent bookstore in small Conway, Arkansas. But I suppose this is more a venting session for me, which works out considering my therapist is on vacation this week. I visited Harvey Hitler's Bookstore for the first and most definitely last time yesterday, as I had called several weeks prior and special ordered a copy of my favorite football player's new memoir. I arrived at the store only to find that the clerk accidentally ordered an entire box of Magic Treehouse number 30, Hurricane Heroes in Texas, and the book I wanted is now sold out on every website I visit. While the clerk was frantically slamming his hands onto the computer keyboard, I glanced around the store out of impatience and annoyance. It wasn't long before the various elements of the space genuinely captured my attention. One little wall of the store had a banner hanging above the bookshelves that read, Literary Works of Local Authors. Some of the selections were as follows: Messiah Munkadiah's Why There's Corn in Your Poop and How You Can Reuse It. Anderhans Christensen's Drowning in Pussy, the Stephen Hawking Story. Gruber Sternready's What to Expect When You're Expecting a Taco Bell Emergency Discharge. Lentil Schumacher's Over the Rainbow, Why All Leprechauns Are Gay. Big Samoa Baker Street's From Adult Film Star to Massage Therapist, When Muscle Memory Goes Wrong. And Wicker Sandoval's Taylor Swift's Urine, Why It's So Great and How to Get It. Across the store was the kids' corner, which only consisted of a table with some power tools on it, cigarettes, and 9/11 news coverage playing on a little TV. Above the counter hung a framed newspaper cover with a photo of Mr. Hitler in front of his bookstore for the grand opening. The article told the story of how Harvey Hitler originally attempted to run for mayor of the city, but his last name didn't resonate well with the citizens of Conway, and he gained almost no support, other than from a small group of anti-Semites who didn't understand they were voting for someone with a significant lack of intolerance towards the Jews. Harvey then decided to realize his second lifelong dream and opened an independent bookstore, to which he decided to include his full name in the title. While I was trying to settle my dispute about the bookstore order, a bunch of kids with their pets came into the store, where Harvey was standing behind the table in the kids' corner for some sort of special event. Harvey asks one of the kids to bring up their pet to the table, where he puts a young girl's cat in a cage and announces this is a very special surprise taxidermy workshop. He then gestures to the stockroom door and announces very special guest, author of Love is Forever, How to Enjoy Your Childhood Pet for the Rest of Your Life, where a one-eyed gentleman with a forehead tattoo of the word bloodsucker limps out and immediately cuts the cat's head off and starts injecting various fluids into the body. At this point, Harvey announces the taxidermist's unfortunate moniker of Lech Vader and his backstory of growing up being homeschooled in a Los Angeles luxury high-rise apartment until he was 10 years old, when his parents were murdered and dismembered by a homeless squatter from Skid Row. He was then put into an orphanage until age 18, when he moved to Arkansas and got a job at a local butchery and deli. It was at the Robinson Street Deli that his fascination with dead animals blossomed into his current profession of preserving the corpses of domestic pets, when a crackhead walked into the store with a dead raccoon and said, "Turn this into a sandwich." But Lex saw so much more to be done with the specimen and wanted to bring this art to the living rooms of American families. As Harvey is telling this story, Lech crudely begins to sew the head back onto the body, with the head turned slightly towards the kids as if to pose the animal. He then accidentally drops a small knife into the eye socket of the recently deceased cat, and the eye pops out of the head and rolls onto the floor in front of the group of kids. Lech just smirks and scans the horrified faces of the children with his available eye and continues working. A few minutes later, Lech clears his throat and sets the aesthetically altered cat on a podium for all to see. The cat has not been cleaned since its slaughter, so it is covered in dried blood and, like its executioner, missing an eye. The kids all screamed and ran out, their parents mostly intoxicated in the bar next door. I just stood there by the entryway, a witness to the most obscure series of events I will ever see. In all the chaos of the kids running out, animals running unrestrained everywhere, Lech urinating on the dead cat, and Harvey smoking a cigarette watching the 9/11 footage, I see the memoir I originally wanted sitting plainly on a shelf just a few feet away. I grabbed it and walked out. Folks of Arkansas, please do not enter this establishment, as I don't believe they properly disinfected that table after the demonstration. 1 out of 5 stars.
So there was a bookstore / taxidermy something?
Well, it was just a bookstore, but they were doing a special event, as bookstores do, where they had special guest author of a book about taxidermy, and he was a taxidermist himself, and so he gave a little demonstration,
Beautiful.
which is good. I mean,
See,
he was
while-
educating our youth.
See, while I was trying to pretend that we weren't talking about Hitler,
Yeah.
I just discovered something that could have been talked about on Please Remain Seated, although we ran out of time anyway.
This is the third fucking time I'm telling you this is 2 useless organisms, Tommy.
Wildcat's Revenge at Hershey Park is officially testing.
I got the Hershey squirts.
Yeah, so tune in to our theme park podcast. 2, 3, wait. What's that show called? Please Remain Seated. Yeah.
Honestly, folks, don't.
Don't. Yeah, you don't have to either. Don't listen to this show either.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. And don't worry, Tommy. Most people have taken your advice.
Yeah, true. Yeah, good for them. If you haven't,
So this is the part where right after we just told you not to consume our content, where we tell you to please consume our content and follow
rate
us
it
on all
5
the
stars.
social media,
Yeah.
rate 5 stars. Give us money. Hell, folks.
Give me money.
I'm not over here curating Hitler stories for free. So actually I kind of am. It's a little passion project of mine, but
Give me money.
for as little as $3 a month, which is half of a Starbucks drink for one day, you can help support our show because me and Tommy both pay to put this son of a biscuit out, and we at least want to break even. So $3 a month is all we ask. You can do more though. I think you can go up to 9. We don't ask 9. We just ask 3. Tommy's just staring into the camera right now.
Money.
That's about all I got. Stay out of Conway, Arkansas.
I mean, stay out of Arkansas in general.
Yeah, honestly, what's over there anyway? The Grand Canyon? Who
Literally
cares?
nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like any state that borders the Gulf of Mexico or is in the Midwest, just stay away from it.
Yeah, and honestly, like, how many golf players have even come out of Mexico anyway?
Correct.
So,
Like maybe 1 or 2.
does Mexico do anything other than make fucking drug cartels?
They definitely do a few more things than
All
that.
they do is kill babies and fucking sell coke.
In 2019, I went on a cruise, and one of our stops was Cozumel, Mexico. And I did a nice combo, what do you call it, excursion, where we explored some Mayan ruins and snorkeled.
Son of a bee sting. I wanted to do that because I also went to Cozumel last year.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It's a long excursion though.
Yeah, it was cool though.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, bye.
Yeah, okay. Bye, everyone.
Sorry about all the Hitler stuff.
You know, it's fine.
All right.
Two useless organisms. Two useless organisms.
Allahu Akbar.
Thank you, Water, for sponsoring the show.